I'm more concerned about my Aunt Betti, Marcus. Pid turns to Marcus with worried eyes. I begin to elaborate on the situation. We have to remember that Mr. Balash is also missing. He didn't receive the letter, so he doesn't know that Betti is here. The Philosophical Society might or might not be responsible, but it is a clue. To also mention, someone did ransack their home, so there is something fishy about this. I pause to shift gears. I feel talking to Betti could shed some insight on a lead to Janus. I couldn't see signs of violence or struggle. The home was ransacked. Perhaps Betti got away during the commotion but was brought here? It's simply too far for her to come alone. Perhaps she was picked up by the local authority, but what would give someone a reason to bring her to a mental hospital? If Janus was accepted into the Philosophical Society, was he a willing member or undercover? But why? And how does it relate to the ancient myth they were researching? We're coming up to the hospital now, Pid interrupts and points out over the hills ahead. The roads curve uphill until a clearing reveals the massive, sprawling Gothic revivalist structure of the Porirua Mental Hospital. Several connected buildings lay across the land, like some craggy, inspired body of an ancient stone giant, long dead, but still menacing. The lawns are well tended, and we see people working the fields, tending the crops as we drive at a slow 15 toward the main building, guided by a wide main road that splits into narrower roads leading to other areas of the campus. This does not look very welcoming. I hope your aunt is all right, Pid. This place gives me an odd feeling, Marcus whispers from the back of the car. Trust me, Marcus, the sooner we can get Betti out, the better, I reply, thinking back to my investigations 2 years ago. I first learned about this hospital when a Mr. Shaw came to me. He was looking for his fiancée for over 2 months after she went missing. The police didn't have much to go on, said she left him for another man. The evidence was there, going out often, distancing herself from Shaw. The case led me to an intern, a young man named Johnny, a student from Victoria University who was last seen with Mr. Shaw's betrothed. I had acquired a note from Johnny's dorm at the university. The letter detailed how he had left to meet her, and they would run away together after he finished his internship at the hospital, and they moved to Australia together. Still, the police nor the hospital had any records of who this Johnny was when I inquired. Months of dead ends followed. No matter what I tried and who I talked to, both the university and hospital staff were reluctant to talk about Johnny or the affair that was going on. It was a blatant cover-up, still unsolved. I started writing articles in my paper to try and stir up anything. The hospital responded with cease and desist notices for tarnishing the reputation of the upstanding community service offered by the hospital. It wasn't a further 6 months later until I found out Shaw had committed suicide. So I left it there. But I know this place still hides secrets, even after the change in management.